channel. It is January 30th, 2017. We have a lot going on with our space weather today. A huge hole has appeared once again in our sun's atmosphere, what we refer to as a coronal hole. And this is going to be a worldwide alert for everyone that is in a earthquake zone, any area where you experience earthquake activity or volcanic activity. I want to go ahead and get directly into this information with you. This is a 48-hour view of our sun. And as you can clearly see, this coronal hole is probably the largest that I've seen in quite a long time. When these coronal holes open up in the sun's atmosphere, this will create very high and intense solar winds that will reach the Earth, and this is directly related to severe earthquake activity. Now, something that we're going to go ahead and go into, and this is coming directly from the spaceweather.com, and clearly their headline reads, "Huge Hole in Sun's Atmosphere." I'm going to go ahead and pan down here so you can see how they've outlined it. CH basically just stands for coronal hole. Now, our sun, I'm going to flip back to the other screen. Our sun's equator naturally would be directly across the center of the star. The Earth sits slightly lower than the Earth's equator. We're not directly in the middle. And as you can see, near the lower part of the sun, this coronal hole has actually grown much larger, and it has connected with a coronal hole that has been at the base of the sun for quite some time. What I'm expecting is not a good situation. We're going to go directly to the live earthquake map, and we had an earthquake earlier today, about 2 hours ago, directly on the northern mid-Atlantic ridge fault line. The depth was only about 10 kilometers, and this is a very serious fault line that runs directly up through the center part of the Atlantic Ocean. But as you can see, we have earthquakes now increasing in Canada, the state of Washington, naturally all of California has been under the gun for quite some time now. Not all of the earthquakes are listed on this particular map, but the earthquakes, once again, they are maintaining a high magnitude 4 and 5 all through the Ring of Fire, as they call it, which is the South Pacific region. I'm going to go ahead over here to the European models. And as you can see, once again, this earthquake activity is just, I would have to consider it to be off the chart. The reason why I'm putting this into a video once again is to warn everyone that is in any type of an earthquake area. The situation seems to be getting much worse. And the reason why I am saying this is because a lot of the information that we rely on when looking at this earthquake activity and examining our magnetosphere, well, they've taken a lot of this information offline as of January 25th, 2017. A lot of the information pertaining to the protective shield of our planet, which is the magnetosphere, has been taken offline. Cannot access any of this information past January 25th. It's kind of unusual. It's not the first time that I've seen this, but the information usually comes back online within 12 to 24 hours. We are now stretching into the 5th day. Is there something that they do not want us to see with our magnetosphere, our protection from the solar winds and the radiation from the sun? Now, I've tried several times over the past several days, and you cannot get any information past January 25th. Looking at the region of Mexico, As you can see, this is 3 days, 75 earthquakes all along the western coast of Mexico. Now, these are not small quakes. These are ranging from magnitude 4 to the low magnitude 3. This is constant over the past 90 days along the western coast of Mexico. We're going to go back to the European model and check out the European map. And as you can see, there's quite a bit of earthquake activity. It is showing some patterns. We're going to be keeping an eye on it over the next several days. Moving back to the coronal hole, we just passed a small coronal hole the other day. The solar winds have died down, but you can guarantee that within the next 24 hours, possibly less than that, possibly the next 12 hours, we're going to start to see heavy increases in the solar wind, and once again, the radiation levels are going to increase. Now, I could show you this information, however, I'm really not trusting the information that they are showing when dealing with the radiation levels. As far as the magnetosphere goes, well, like I've said, they have blocked the information, they have taken it down, there's no way to access it as of January 25th. That's the last bit of data that we have. Volcanic activity is also on the rise. I was just looking at some earthquake data, and we can go ahead and just jump on here to Discovery Volcano. We'll click on the volcanoes, and Volcano News over here just basically gives you the information on all of these active volcanoes. And basically, almost every single active volcano has an ash warning. They are erupting, nothing that would cause any type of devastation, but the pressure is building. And sooner or later, we are going to have a devastating earthquake and probably followed by a massive eruption on any one of these volcanoes. So once again, if you live in any of these areas where you experience earthquakes or volcanoes, please heed this warning over the next 5 to 7 days, because that is going to be the time period for which we are going to be in this alert. Now, I'm not seeing any information coming out of the USGS. It's kind of hard to trust their information because they do downplay a lot of the magnitudes on these earthquakes. So once again, we do have a very large coronal hole, one of the biggest that I've seen, and it will be turning towards the Earth within the next 12 to 24 hours. We will be in the mainstream of these solar winds for several days. So once again, folks, please use caution. If you'd like to download a very good app for the earthquake notifications, you can go to Discovery Volcano. I'll leave a link for it in the description box. Simply go to the website, Volcano Discovery, pan right over to where it says app, or you can check your app store on your cell phone, download the app, and create your own settings. This will also work off of your GPS setting on your cell phone to alert you to any type of situation where you are standing with your cell phone. So once again, folks, heed this warning. We'll try to update this later on this afternoon. Hopefully, we can start to get this information that has been taken away from us, and it kind of makes you, feel, hey, what the hell's going on? Why are you withholding this information? The magnetosphere information is very, very important. As soon as we get the information back, we'll be taking a close look at it. So folks, stay tuned, be safe. Thank you for watching the Nibiru channel. Hello everybody, welcome back to the Nibiru channel. It is January 30th, 2017. We have a lot going on with our space weather today. A huge hole has appeared once again in our sun's atmosphere, what we refer to as a coronal hole. And this is going to be a worldwide alert for everyone that is in a earthquake zone, any area where you experience earthquake activity or volcanic activity. I want to go ahead and get directly into this information with you. This is a 48-hour view of our sun. And as you can clearly see, this coronal hole is probably the largest that I've seen in quite a long time. When these coronal holes open up in the sun's atmosphere, this will create very high and intense solar winds that will reach the Earth. And this is directly related to severe earthquake activity. Now, something that we're going to go ahead and go into, and this is coming directly from the spaceweather.com and